Alright, so today I'm checking out a video that was recommended to me by a subscriber about a week ago. This is Dutch and English are actually really similar. This is gonna be super interesting. I mean, I do know that. I've tried to learn Dutch a little bit and I see lots of resemblance from Dutch to English. This is by the channel Glottal Stop. I'm going to subscribe because I'm sure this video is gonna be great. Let's check it out.
Dutch is not a real language. We have a serious problem is literally we hebben een serieus probleem. But seriously, English and Dutch are probably a lot more similar than you think. They are both
Yeah, I've seen the video of the guy speaking Old English and the other guy was speaking the Frisian dialect or something like that, and they were able to understand each other. So yeah, I mean, similarities are obvious.
West Germanic languages descended from Proto-West Germanic, a language spoken sometime between the 2nd and 7th centuries. In the Middle Ages, different dialects of Proto-West Germanic began
Bro, love the accent of this guy.
to separate into different languages, which we now know as English, Dutch, German and Frisian. While English's relative isolation, along with strong French influence, have greatly differentiated it from the continental Germanic languages, that doesn't stop Dutch from feeling strangely familiar to the English ear. Not only is Dutch incredibly similar to English phonetically, some words like autumn, house and appel are almost identical. This video will give an overview of the many surprising connections between Dutch and English. So hop in that cockstool and get ready. If you've ever wondered why words like fight have that GH in the middle, Dutch holds the secret. In Dutch, fight is vecht, pronounced with a guttural sound. The GH in fight actually used to be pronounced the same way.
Like gouda, right?
But this sound has now disappeared, and no one bothered updating the spelling. In Dutch, night is nacht, and brood is gebracht. The Dutch
Wait, that's German.
equivalent of the word night is knecht, meaning servant.
There are so many words that are also similar or the same as in German.
Notice how in Dutch the K is pronounced. This is yet another example of English throwing a sound away without changing the spelling. Another example of this can be seen in the Dutch word for knee, knie. The sound can also be heard in places that you wouldn't expect. To wait is wachten, rainbow is regenboog, day is dag, way is weg, and the Milky Way is actually de Melkweg. Another connection is the English S and Dutch Z. In Dutch, sun is zon, soul is ziel, sick is ziek, and silver is zilverd. In northwestern areas of the Netherlands, like Amsterdam, the Z is actually pronounced like an S, making these words even more similar to English. The English G sound corresponds with the Dutch sound. Good is goed, God is hot, and green is groen. Another common pattern is that words ending in OLD in English tend to correspond to OU.
So I feel like if you're fluent in both German and English, it will be super easy to learn Dutch, right?
UD in Dutch. For example, old is oud, cold
Oud.
is koud, and gold is goud. But sold is not zout, it's actually verkocht. In English, the W represents a W sound, but in Dutch, it's V. It sounds like something in between a W and a V. Now here are some words that sound extremely similar. English's ow sound simply becomes ow in Dutch. House is house, mouse is mouse, brown is
Nice.
brown. The Dutch equivalent of town is down, but it instead means garden. Many common Dutch verbs sound strikingly similar to English. Do is doen, begin is beginnen, think is denken, eat is eten, drink is drinken, see is zien, run is rennen, and come is komme. You can also see the connection in the days of the week, which all sound fairly similar. The days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are actually named after Germanic gods Tyr, Odin.
Bro, that's crazy. So similar. Wow. Even this one, Zaterdag. Zaterdag. That's Saturday. Sounds so similar.
Thor and Frigg. Monday and Sunday are literally Noonday and Sunday, and Saturday is the odd one out, being named after the Roman god Saturn. Words for family members are also incredibly similar. Son is zoon, daughter is dochter, mother is moeder, and father is vader. Many animal words are also closely related. Cow is koe, sheep is schaap, cat is kat, dog is hond, which is related to the English word hound. Being from Northern Ireland, a connection I personally find very interesting is the Dutch word muur, meaning wall, and the English word mural, meaning a wall painting. These can both be traced back to the Latin word murus, meaning wall. Following the Norman conquest of England in 1066, many of English's native Germanic vocabulary began to be replaced by words of French origin. Dutch has some French words too, but compared to English, has maintained far more of its native vocabulary. Examples of this are peace, vrede, voice, stem, question, vraag, use, gebruik, village, dorp, city, stad, animal, dier. English actually still has this word, but it now only refers to a deer. Some of these Germanic words are actually a lot more self-explanatory than English's foreign loanwords, such as victory, which is simply overwinning, and aardappel, literally meaning earth apple. Average is gemiddeld, with the word middle literally right there to explain the meaning.
Bro,
there are also
that's
many
so
related
cool.
words that no longer have the same meaning. The English word will and the Dutch word wil share a common origin, but the Dutch word actually means want to instead of going to. The Dutch word huilen, meaning cry, is actually related to the English word howl, and the word gift originally just meant to give someone something, but in English the meaning narrowed to giving a present, and in Dutch and German it became a word for poison. I guess because poison is something you give a dose of to someone. Another interesting word is springe, meaning jump, which is actually related to the English word spring, making it easy to guess the meaning. But don't be deceived into thinking all these similarities make Dutch easy, because the grammar has a trick up its sleeve. While English has lost its gender system entirely, Dutch still has two different ways of saying the, depending on a word's gender. These are de and het. If you want to speak Dutch correctly, you'll have to remember which of these to use for every single word. Dutch word order can also be surprisingly different from English. In simple sentences like I go to sleep, the word order is often exact.
Ik ga zwemmen. I love that song.
The same. But when it comes to more complex phrases like I'm going to buy a car tomorrow, the word order is completely different. While Dutch and English are very closely related, don't forget that the entire point of this video was to show the connection between the two languages, and so I focused mainly on the parts that are similar. There are also countless differences making English and Dutch mostly incomprehensible to one another, so if you want to get the full picture, I'd highly recommend learning some Dutch, as it is an incredibly fascinating language.
I mean, that was really great, you know. Of course, even though it's a very easy language to learn for English speakers, not so obvious. Like even Spanish for Italians is super easy to learn, but I have so many friends that have lived or visited Spain countless times and they still mix a lot of Italian when they speak Spanish and they have no idea about grammatical rules in Spanish. So yeah, even if they tell me I speak Spanish, I know for sure they don't, because I'm fluent in the language and I can tell that they are pretty bad at it. So yeah, I mean, you still have to put some work, but I mean, like, it's such a beautiful language. It's such a beautiful language. I really love the sound of the Dutch language. And yeah, in the future, definitely, when I have the time, when I'll be less busy, because I'm so busy lately making videos, I will definitely give it a try and try to learn Dutch. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next one.